Hello and welcome to Super Switch Headz. My name is Patrick Nisley.
My name is Matthew Stoner.
My name is David Howe.
And I'm Ryan Robinson.
Hey,
Yay!
very good. We got a guest for the premier Nintendo podcast and all the internet.
Premier
Patrick.
Nintendo podcast and all the internet.
The
Sorry.
premier podcast.
It's like our catchphrase.
I had
Nintendo
one,
podcast and all the
I had
internet.
one job, and I didn't do it.
No, it's worked.
I'm more
great.
excited. I was real excited about this being episode 40, and I was like,
Very
gotta
good.
say episode 40, gotta say episode 40, and I forgot our tagline.
Ah, it's okay. So we now are old enough to spend all our money on a really fast car, and
Date someone
Toupees.
half your age.
yeah, exactly.
Mazda Miata, here I come.
Yeah, man, I kind of have always wanted a Mazda Miata.
Me too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's go halfsies on one.
Let's do it.
I'll keep it on weekends.
So this episode, we are going to be talking about Smash Ultimate DLC speculation. I swear we thought of this a long time ago, and everybody's doing it now. It's a timely time. It's a timely time.
Yeah, I agree. It's a timely time. It's
a
a
timely-
timely time to buy a Mazda Miata.
It's a timely time to do this episode. But I've been pitching this episode for a long time, and I swear, even though everybody else is doing this topic as well,
We'll bring our specific spin to it.
we've got a couple of follow-ups on some news items we've talked about before. There's a new game published by Nintendo that came out of nowhere, and we're going to talk about some news related to our main topic too. Terry Bogard came out for Smash, so got a few other things to talk about. Everybody doing good?
Yeah, doing pretty good. I want to give a little plug right up top.
Give it.
For the people that listen to only the beginning of the podcast, which is the Super Switch Headz hosts here are going to be doing a show in Austin, a live show. I guess today, if you're listening to this on the day
A
it
live
comes out.
improv show.
A live improv show. Yeah, it's not a live podcast. So don't go expecting like hot Nintendo goss. We're doing an improv show at Fallout Theater Wednesday, 11/13. And it's going to be at 9:30. We're doing it as we tentatively titled Single Pringle, I believe is the name that we've decided for ourselves.
Yeah.
I told people at a party that our improv team name is Single Pringle, and they said, ooh.
They liked it?
Yeah, they liked it. Yeah.
My wife also approved. She thought it was funny.
That's funny because none of us are single. But together we are one Pringle.
Yeah.
That's what it is. So if you're listening to this and you want to see us live, come out to the show. It's tonight. If you're listening on Wednesday, and if you're listening past Wednesday, then you missed out, motherfucker.
Awesome. So we're about to be done with the decade, y'all. It's the end of 2019. If you didn't know, decades start in year zero. So 100 best games of the decade list was released. I'm sure we'll see lots of these types of lists, but Polygon did one, 100 best games of the decade, and Breath of the Wild, not terribly surprisingly, did really well. They're number 2 on their list. Mm-hmm. Number 3 on their list is one of David's favorite games, Spelunky.
Spelunky, yeah, I was very happy.
Spelunky's
that
awesome.
Number 3, yeah.
And then number 1 was Minecraft.
Yeah,
correct.
Which is kind of like
Is that true? I thought does that game come out this decade?
Yeah, it was like towards the beginning. Yeah. But it was like
seems older than that.
I
to
know.
me.
It seems like it's just always
maybe
been around.
because I know it was like in beta for a very, very long time. And
I just
then,
remember
like,
my
had an
nephew
official
playing it
release.
like 10 years ago, but maybe it wasn't 10 years ago.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was probably more like 7 or something.
Minecraft certainly wouldn't be at the top of my list, but it's like definitely not something that I'm complaining about. Like it makes sense to be.
Well, you know
like
what
the
I
number
like
one game
about
of the
this
decade.
list is it has stuff like League of Legends and Fortnite on it and the top 10 because those games deserve to be because maybe they're not your favorite video
Yeah.
game or
Yeah.
this reviewer's, but aggregately those are super important games.
Yeah. I thought it was a great list, honestly. Like when I read it, and it was a good combination of like PC MOBA style games and battle royale games, and then also there's mobile games in there too. Like,
Oh, that's right.
Like Two Dots was in there, which I found to be very surprising. But then I thought about it, I was like, Two Dots is a fucking good game, And so it's like it's a really good kind of comprehensive list.
Yeah, like Pokemon Go was way up there too.
Yeah, it was like in the top 10, I think.
Yeah. Which
Yeah,
again, that makes sense. Those are games that had huge impacts.
did you get a chance to look at this list, Ryan?
I have not seen it, but
Yeah.
I mean, I agree with what you guys said. It sounds it's interesting how much gaming has changed from like 2010 to now. So to see like Pokemon Go up there with Minecraft is interesting.
That's a fair point. Like those games are huge. Like the games that we just mentioned, like League of Legends and Fortnite and Minecraft. Those games are massive and have changed and make so much money and have changed gaming and esports and all that. And that's all in the last 10 years.
Yeah, it's a good list. Check it out. That'd be fun to like play all those games.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just kind of like check all the ones that you haven't played yet. And, like,
So
check
if
them out.
this episode gets 10,000 listens, we will play all 100 games.
Yeah. And we'll do one episode where we review all of them.
In 100 seconds.
Oh, wait, before we move on.
Yeah, what do you got?
So I just wanted to give a quick shout out to Eduardo,
Oh, right.
who's a previous guest on the show. When I was looking through the thing, I realized Eduardo has worked on 4 of the games from the top 100 games list. He was a sound designer.
That's
on 4 of those
4%
games.
of the games.
Yeah, 4% of the best games of the decade.
He's
Eduardo
touched.
Ortiz Frau has worked on, so hire this man to do your sound design. You'll get on
Yeah.
that really nice list. All right, sorry, we can move on.
No, sorry. So this has been making the rounds of news, politics, intersection, gaming. China has set some rules for quote unquote young gamers, which I think is people under the age of 18, that they can only play video games for 90 minutes a day. And there's like a curfew of 10 p.m. And I don't know how in the world that would be regulated by the government, but it is a thing that now exists or will exist. I don't know exactly if this has been implemented or when it's going to start to be implemented. But that's obviously weird. It sucks. Like I think that, you know, video game addiction is a real problem for certain segments of the population, and, you know, young people need guidance. But I have this weird, like, personal, like, socialist / libertarian batting of like, well, I think that's a parental thing, you know what I mean? Or a thing for individuals to decide. I don't think we should be quote like swath banning people from playing certain, you know, restricting people to play a certain amount of games and stuff.
It's scary.
Yeah, there
Yeah.
you go.
Yeah, it's like very 1984, which is like which is kind of, it's kind of par for the course for China.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, a very controlling government. But yeah, you posted this article,
Yeah.
Matt. I know you said this is kind of like the collision of politics and gaming, which is something that you find really exciting.
Yeah. Just the idea of like, you know, there's politics, depending on your stance and what your views are. People are like, get the government out of my house.
Right.
And then we're saying, get the government out of our video game consoles.
Yeah.
And I think just let people do what they want to do.
Yeah.
And if you're going to try to regulate against people finding pleasure in some art medium, then people are just going to do it fucking anyways.
They'll find ways around it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't do
Certainly.
drugs, but if I did, I would find some way to do the drugs.
Yeah.
I think also it's just like one of those things that I think video games are arguably more addictive than TV and movies, or have the potential to be. But it's as the new media form, they get shat on a lot, and it's just another example of that. They're not regulating people watching 90-minute or minutes of TV.
Right, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, or like you can watch 3 hours of trash reality TV, but like only play 90 minutes of League of Legends or something.
Well, to be fair, I'm sure they are regulating the TV in China.
That's
It's
true.
just you
Probably
can watch
just not the time
you can watch
span.
as much propaganda as you want.
Just not Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah, right, exactly. It is funny though. It's like, because you're right. It's like, you know, it's like, hey, keep your government out of my video games and stuff. But also, it's like we had a conversation earlier this year about, you know, the good parts of regulating loot boxes and stuff like that in games. So it's like there is a line to be drawn there, and I think that some regulation is not a bad thing. Like you were talking about socialism and libertarianism; those are kind of two very different ideas. You know what I mean? You can go about it in two different ways. So I just don't think that, you know, it definitely seems like a very out of touch rule that's being passed, and I just want to say, use ExpressVPN to play. A sponsor of
Just
Super
to
Switch Headz.
support that idea. Like, I'm pro anything that's protecting a consumer. Like, I talked to my girlfriend about the CFPB, which is the Consumer Finance Protection Bureau. Elizabeth Warren started it after the 2009 recession, and it protects average consumers from like payday lenders and like fucking crazy interest rates.
Gotcha.
So like loot
Some
box,
nice dinner time talk.
yeah, it's really fucking sexy. I'm a virgin.
And you were saying about loot boxes.
Yeah, and I was so like loot boxes that might prey on consumers, specifically children. I think regulation is good in that case. But if you're implementing a curfew to look at something or to watch something or interact with something, then that's a problem.
Yeah, it's very V for Vendetta.
Yeah.
There's a footnote here. You want to talk about some other Chinese Nintendo?
Oh yeah,
related
just another
news.
China news. Tencent, who is one of the biggest, it's the monetarily the biggest video game producer in the world, and lots of other media comes out of Tencent as well. Tencent is also, I think they're put all the money behind that new Mr. Rogers movie that's coming out. Funnily enough, yeah, it's very strange. Tencent kind of they're a huge. I think they own all of Riot Games. And Nintendo is partnering with Tencent in order to release the Switch in China to kind of surpass some of these anti-console laws that have been going on in China for the past 10, 15 years or so. And Tencent recently, I think there's a Wall Street Journal article that was talking about how Tencent wants to not only just partner with Nintendo to release Switch stuff, but they really are trying to urge Nintendo to let them use their IPs to create their own mobile games in China and to release those games both there and abroad, which is kind of a little spooky because also in that same article, like one of the spokespeople for Tencent was like, Nintendo mobile games just do not make enough money through microtransactions like in mobile games. And so everybody's like, man, please don't let Tencent make Nintendo games.
Yeah.
I'm looking at this stuff you posted too, and it also talks about they want to make console games with Nintendo characters too.
Yeah. So
and like market them around the world. This would be like the Philips CDI
Zelda
games.
Exactly. Right. So it's definitely something that I think is going to be a developing story over the next couple of weeks, maybe months. Just because Nintendo definitely wants to keep Tencent happy to a certain extent because they want that market. Like I think the stock price of Nintendo rose like 15% or something whenever they said they were partnering with Tencent because they're just a hugely profitable company. So it's like there's going to be a lot of pressure on Nintendo to do this, but I know that they've also been very protective of their IP when it comes to lending them to other developers. I mean, that's lessened some recently. Like look at Star Fox in
Cadence of Hyrule.
Yeah, Cadence of Hyrule. Look at the use of Star Fox and
Starlink.
Yeah, Starlink. That's a Battle for Atlas. So I'm very interested to see how this turns out. I'm very also hesitant because
that's
I don't
terrifying.
trust Tencent.
Yeah.
That's like Amazon taking a Nintendo IP
Yeah.
and then making a new game.
I don't see them letting it happen, but we'll see.
Is
Like you said.
Tencent also the company that owns part of Blizzard?
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
5%. Or
Yeah,
something.
yeah, they're a stakeholder in Activision Blizzard. I think they own all of Riot Games.
Jesus.
Yeah, it's a lot, and they're one of those companies that just kind of is like a big amorphous blob that it's like Disney, they just kind of like suck up all these different media conglomerates. Yeah,
Very cool.
so so be on the lookout and be careful what you play on your phone.
There were some photos posted showing construction of the Nintendo area. I think what's the name of it? Of the at the Universal Tokyo.
I think it's just
Super
Nintendo World.
Yeah, Super Nintendo
Nintendo
World,
Land.
I believe.
Yeah.
And it looks just like those models we saw that we talked about.
Yeah.
So those
It
were
looks
obviously
amazing.
real, and it does look cool. You can see like the question blocks and a POW block and stuff.
Yeah.
I've been telling friends I'm going to Japan next year in 2020. And
When are you going?
Yeah, this is news to us. You haven't told us. Are we your friends?
well, here now I'm telling you.
All right.
So I've just been casually saying it because Casey and I have been talking about it, and everyone's like, "Oh, you're going for the Olympics," and I'm like, "No, I'm going for Super Nintendo Land World."
Dude, let me know when you go. I've been trying to plan a Japan trip as well.
Oh, okay, let's go.
Yeah, that'd be tight.
Patrick, do you want to
I
go?
will stay here.
Ryan, you want to go?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Ryan is the new host of Super Switch Headz. But yeah, it's looking amazing. It looks exactly like the renders. And apparently there's also stuff being built in California as well.
The Universal there.
Yeah. So
yeah, our Switch Headz member, you said you put this here, Chris Levi. He said you can see it there, but it's not like developed as much.
yeah, he said
So
it's
you
not
can't
as
really
big as the one in Japan,
can't
but
tell, yeah,
but construction has started there as well. So it's something that we've been talking about for a long time. I don't know if we've been really talking about it on the show, but it's been in the works for a long time. So it's cool to kind of finally see it come to fruition.
Yeah, it looks awesome. They have like some of the clouds and some of the POW blocks that look really cool. Around that same time last week, there was also renders of Donkey Kong Country Land World. Donkey Kong Country Land. I don't fucking know.
Yeah. Like that's a planned addition to the whole area.
Yeah, and apparently there's going to be a Funky Kong area.
Oh my God. Like a minecart ride and shit like that.
Yeah.
It sounds like
All that
much
stuff.
fun.
It's going to be cool.
Yeah.
You can go buy little plastic figurines from Funky Kong.
Yeah.
Nintendo had that fiscal investor meeting we talked about, but they finally put the Q&A out in English, and a lot of this stuff's already been talked about.
What are the highlights?
I would say the stuff that people are pulling out now that it's in English that wasn't really talked about before, and none of this is really big news, is that they don't have any plans to do any sort of price drop on the Switch or the Switch Lite. You know, people were asking about with these new, with the release of Switch Lite and stuff, are we going to ever lower the price? And they're like, no, which makes sense.
Why would they at this point?
Yeah. And some people asked about, we were talking about China, about is Mario Kart Tour going to come out in China? And they said they don't have anything to announce about the mobile business in China at this time. Which
Tencent was like, there's not enough microtransactions. There are loot boxes in Mario Kart Tour.
And I think the other interesting thing, and this is also not surprising, but is kind of interesting to hear Furukawa say, is that, somebody asked about digital sales and how that's doing. And he said in particular, they pointed out that the Super Smash Bros. Ultimate DLC has made them a lot of money. Basically, the Fighters Pass has been a significant part of their digital sales, or at least of their DLC type digital sales. So,
and I'm sure we'll talk about this. Actually, I didn't see it on the notes, but Smash Ultimate is now the top-selling fighting game of all time.
Yeah, it has been for a while now, I think.
Yeah. And I think the franchise is the most popular fighting game franchise of all time as well. I think it was like, if you take like all the Street Fighter, Tekken games, and like all those like combined, basically, it's like,
holy shit,
not as much as all the Smash games combined.
Isn't the game that Ultimate beat, wasn't it Brawl that it beat to become the highest selling game?
Oh, maybe. Yeah.
So I think Smash already was.
Yeah.
The new one
might
where
be
it
right.
took it.
Right. See, I'd heard that it was
fighting games are so niche.
Street Fighter 2, like in all its
it might be because they've
permutations.
released it a
because
billion
that's
times.
including like every release,
Depends
every
on how you
arcade
count it,
machine.
yeah.
So it's regardless. That's crazy. I know that wasn't part of that.
No,
story
that's
there,
fine.
but it makes sense as to why the Fighter Pass did well.
Right. We haven't mentioned that fact. Partly, so kind of in more non-answers, non-news news, The Verge did
My favorite kind of news.
The Verge did a really a cool interview with Doug Bowser, but of course he didn't have any like breakthrough things to say. It was just kind of interesting to hear him deflect some of these questions, like about Joy-Con drift. They ask him about that and that kind of stuff, and if we're gonna ever see like another, like N64 classic type console or anything. And of course, he doesn't give any straight answers, but it's interesting to read his answers and see his personality a little bit there. And also, another great question they ask him is about the difficulties of sharing Nintendo accounts. Like if, we have this Lite, but it's not super easy to have your save data. You have to download it from the cloud every time and that kind of stuff.
It's hard for like a portable console if you don't have
Right.
Wi-Fi. Yeah.
And if you want to have multiple switches, and he doesn't really there's nothing new to say on any of that stuff.
Good old Doug.
But I did want to say this, and while we're here talking about the Switch Lite, I went into a Target that's not my normal Target recently, and they had Switch Lites on display, and I was like, well, I got to pick this up and feel it and try it out, and played a few minutes of Mario Odyssey, and I liked it.
Oh yeah, it's nice.
Yeah, I did the same thing at Target the other day too. Actually, played like Do Super Mario Bros for a little bit. Feels pretty good.
Yeah.
feels
The D-pad's
nice.
awesome.
The D-pad's great. Every day I have to actively stop myself from getting the Zacian and Zamazenta edition of the Nintendo Switch Lite. I think it's so sexy.
I too went to Target.
Yeah.
And they had the
Was that
Pokemon.
Steven Sevenzenza? Yeah.
That one.
You could say it.
I don't know how.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, Sasha has one, and then we share a lot of games over both of our Switches. And so oftentimes, like, she'll want to play Breath of the Wild. And so she'll play that on my Switch on the TV, and then I'll just download whatever save data I have onto her Switch for whatever game I'm playing. So I'll play on hers if she ever wants to play on the TV, right? So it's kind of like it works
For that
decently well.
situation, it works well. But I think if you want to have both, which is total unnecessary, like
it's like a 1% problem.
Gluttony of video games or something. But like that's why I would want it, right? Because ooh, this feels light, and I could have two Switches.
What was it? I was watching the Spawncast recently. It's Spawnwave's podcast that he does once a week, and I think Austin John from Austin John Plays was on there. And they were asking like how many Switches they have, and he has 9 Switches.
Oh my god!
Yeah, he has like all 4 Switch Lights, and then like a Revision, and then a Dragon Quest Switch, and then like I think a Disney Tsum Tsum. It's ridiculous. So we have to step up our game, is what I'm saying. I think we only each have 1 Switch, and that's
since we said Disney Susum, we have to drop the name for Chris McKeever.
yeah. He should definitely.
I think that game actually is about to come out, or just came out. But anyway,
not interested.
1,000 likes and they'll play Disney.
Well, give us 1,000 likes, and we'll add Disney Tsum Tsum Festival to the
top 100
Polygon's top 100 games of the decade.
So one thing we were kind of speculating about last week when we were talking about the Terry Bogard presentation for Smash was maybe Smash would update to use the Switch invite. Well, spoiler for what we'll talk about in a minute, that didn't happen. But the first game to use the system Switch invites has come, first game to use that is I can't say this.
It was patched into
it exists.
This game. Yeah.
Oh boy, it's Divinity Original Sin 2, which is a Western RPG that's really well regarded. That I want to play at some point, but is like I think a huge time sink. So I haven't bought it yet. But that's cool. A game actually uses that thing, and it also being that game makes me wonder: is this like just now any developer can do this? Like what? Why aren't more games using this?
No idea, but they should get on it quickly.
Yeah.
It's too late for this to now be happening. So they need to patch this into the first party game step.
That first party games especially, but any game really. I hope that this is the first domino and a lot of games start using this.
Yeah, now with my Switch, I wonder why I even add people on it. You know, it's like I can see when they're online and what they've been playing.
Yeah, I use it just to stalk my friends.
Yeah, I'm just like, I wonder what David's been playing recently. But that's all the use I get out of it.
Yeah. So hopefully this will come to more games and come to games that need it, like Smash and other things, like you said. There was a Pokemon event in Tokyo that was scheduled to take place, where some of the big names over Game Freak like Masuda would have been, but they canceled it for operational reasons. And of course, everybody's assuming, though who knows why, that they canceled it because there's been death threats or people are going to go and protest.
They've come out and said it was nothing to do with that. I believe that it was nothing to do with that. I think that people want to find anything to shit on this new Pokemon game.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It's like,
absolutely.
And it's going to sell 100 billion copies.
Yeah. No, they're not worried about it. It's like,
no, whatever. Clearly. And I think I've seen some other interview too, where they've not doubled down. They've been saying this is like, we're not ever going to have another game with where every Pokemon can come into it. So we'll see.
I don't care. I'm going to get it. I think it looks great.
Yeah,
me too.
I'm getting real hyped actually this week for it.
There's a lot of people too that have been saying this is really going to shake up the Pokemon competitive community. I don't know a lot about this because you won't be able to use every Pokemon, so you will have to be more picky and choosy, and that will change things. So that, and I know a lot of people are excited about that. So there you go. And yeah, Pokemon's coming out real soon, you guys. And
yeah, we'll be talking about it next week on the podcast.
Yeah, there you go. And I mentioned this earlier. The Stretchers, a new game published by Nintendo, kind of got dropped out of nowhere the other day. Anybody played this?
No.
Well, the video of it, the gameplay, it just kind of looks like you play two. I think it's designed for co-op, but you can play it single player. But you play two like EMS workers in a town where everybody's getting sick or something. There's some ridiculous
I
reason.
think people get sick in most towns.
Right, but there's some ridiculous story reason where like everybody's been hit by this plague or whatever. And it's kind of like a physics-based game where you're trying to get people on the stretchers and they kind of flop around. It looks fun.
It looks like a cross between Crazy Taxi and Overcooked to me.
Yeah, I think it has a very Overcooked vibe. That's a good call.
And then it's like when you're driving the ambulance around, you like go to lit up zones and park to get the sick person, very much like Crazy Taxi. Looks cool.
Yeah,
it's really nice graphically.
I think Amanda Switchhead posted on like the video that one of us posted and was like, I'm a nurse and I'm offended.
It's not that simple.
I cure people. I don't bounce them around on a stretcher.
So it's just published by Nintendo, but I don't even know how you say their name. They're famous for Little Nightmares.
Yeah, Tarsier Studios.
Tarsier.
Yeah, something like that.
Tarsier. Tarsier Studios is the developer on that one. So I don't know. That looks like a fun co-op game if you're looking for one.
I will pick it up on a sale.
Yeah, exactly. But it's Nintendo published game, so it may never go on sale.
We will see.
So then last bit of news, which kind of leads us into our main topic, is that Sakurai did a 45-minute long presentation on Terry Bogard joining Smash. And we spent a while last week being like, 45 minutes? What's he going to talk about?
He can't possibly just talk about SNK for 45 minutes.
Yep, that's what it was.
There's no way he's going to talk about
No
Terry
way.
for
They're
45.
lying to us. They say there's not going to be a character announcement. They just don't want us to get our hopes up.
Yeah. Wasn't it great when they revealed Doom Guy?
I will say this, though. Maybe because I'm obsessed with Smash Ultimate, I really enjoyed all 45 minutes
Yeah,
of this
it was great.
presentation.
Same.
It literally started as soon as I got into work, so I just like pulled up my work and then just like opened up YouTube and I was like, this is the best start to my day ever.
Oh, yeah.
So he gave a lot of history about Neo Geo and Terry and SNK at the top, and then covered Terry's moves. And Terry's a pretty interesting character, I think.
I think he's great.
Yeah, he's pretty fun to play
Super
with.
fun.
Yeah.
I just love the fact that Sakurai was like, I need to give the Western audience a history lesson of what the fuck Neo Geo
He had a Neo
is.
Geo there, like on his desk.
Yeah.
It was so cool.
Yeah.
Okay, who in this room actually knew who Terry was when he was announced, though?
Or
before he
I
was
mean, I
announced.
recognize him, but I didn't.
I had no idea, but I still got hyped for him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I recognize his long ass ponytail.
Yeah, I recognize I've seen King of Fighters games in the arcade from back in the day, and I probably played one once or twice, but not like something I spent a lot of time with. But I'll say this again when we get to our main topic. I don't care who joins Smash on some level. I'm just excited for new people.
Yeah,
Agreed.
for sure.
Agreed.
Especially if they're from different franchises. And this was a cool opportunity to learn the history of all this.
And I was really concerned that he would just play like the other fighter game characters that are in it, but he plays pretty uniquely.
Yeah, it's
given
similar,
the fact that
but
he doesn't
different.
have he's just doing fighting game moves, but it's like he feels totally fresh, and it's
Yes.
like
He has a
like
back special.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and he's a lot of fun to play as. He's very strong.
Mm-hmm.
And the King of Fighters stage is kind of unique. It's like a flat stage with walls on the side, and the higher percent, the more likely you are to break the walls. It's kind of cool. It's different.
Yeah.
I think it's cool when we get a stage that has some different dynamics like that.
Better than Shadow Moses Island.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or just a traditional walk-off.
Yeah.
They're so easy to stand at the end and cheese people.
Yeah.
Back throw them.
In fact, I would like them to patch this into all walk-offs.
Yeah, honestly, I would be fine with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see that. That is hard for me. I don't like
A King of Fighters mode or something you can toggle. That'd be tight.
He went over all the people who you could pop up on the stage, and there was a funny moment where he talked about how one very particular SNK heroine character was not going to be in the game because Smash is a game for good boys and girls. Her name is Mai. I don't know a lot about her, but I guess she's in a sexy outfit.
She's
most
like
of
the
time.
big tittied King of Fighters character.
Right.
Yeah. She's like the dead or alive character.
Yeah,
King of Fighters.
exactly. But it's funny, he's in the English thing, he was like, because Smash was like a game for good boys and girls, and we couldn't like let her in and blah, 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 blah. But that's not what he said in Japanese. That
I
was
heard
like,
that it is. He says good kids.
that's not what I read.
Gotcha.
But as I understood it, because he talked.
What they didn't say in English is he talks about the rating.
Right. He talked about the Sero rating system in Japan, and he was basically like, we couldn't do this because of Sero. You know what I mean? And we'd have to change like the rating of the game. And this is something that Sakurai has had issue with in the past. Like he's a vocal critic of the Sero rating system.
Yeah,
and
I remember
so he got real salty, and that's why everybody was like laughing in the background because it's like, oh shit, here he goes. You know, right?
Yes, I've seen both arguments that in Japanese he does say, it doesn't say good boys and girls, but he said good kids or something like that. But I've also but I don't know. I don't speak Japanese.
Good boys and girls certainly makes it sound sexual for some reason.
It is a funny translation, or just a funny. It was just a funny moment. There were a lot of funny moments. This, and then the next point of thing I want to talk about is he spent a long time playing the entirety of Terry Bogard's classic mode.
Yeah, and he
which was maybe the most like unnecessary thing in this, and the thing where you're kind of like, well, that was weird.
It's the part I kind of tuned out for.
Yeah,
because I just wanted to play it.
But it was really fun to watch. It's like, if he doesn't want to keep making games, he should stream. I'm not the first person that said that, because he was funny. Yeah. He's like, I don't know if I can play and talk, but let's see. And like you said, he crushed it.
Yeah,
like 9.9.
Ended at 9.9. Yeah.
And he was very funny throughout.
Also, can I just say, like, how healthy and happy Sakurai seems? Like, seriously, like, he's getting a little older, but you would never know. And it's like, and I don't know, he's dealt with a lot of health issues in his life, and it's like, he just seems very happy and healthy, and it was just really nice to see him having a huge smile on his face and making everybody laugh. Yeah. He's
very funny in this, and also just watching him talk about the history of these games, like, man, that was really entertaining.
Yeah,
like,
and he put in 50 fucking songs.
Yeah, that's the next big point, right? SNK let him have 50 songs.
The opposite of Square Enix.
Yeah, and one of the cameos is like Akari Warriors.
Yeah,
there are lots of random
really
SNK
sweet.
games. Yeah.
There's some Samurai Showdown love in the Mii Fighter costumes that came in as well. So yeah, it was a great presentation.
Yeah, and we got version 6.0, which had some buffs to some lower tier characters, which was cool. And it's got a couple of minor updates to things like battle arenas, where you can change the rules for battle arenas. Thank God, that was kind of an annoying thing.
There's still more updates they need to do for battle arenas.
Oh, absolutely. So, it was not enough.
Yeah,
but it
felt like a half measure to me.
It was definitely a half measure. There are a lot of things I would love for them to fix, but
you need to be able to bring a local person into battle arenas.
Yes,
still.
I would love other ways to play two player.
If you can do that with Killer Queen Black, you should be able to.
There's a million things that are wrong with the online of this game.
Yeah.
But we're not going to talk about that right now. We're going to talk about what other characters might be joining Smash.
The future of Smash.
In just a minute. We were just talking about Terry Bogard joining Smash Ultimate. Smash Ultimate was released last December, and they announced that there would be a 5-character fighter pass. And over this year, we've gotten 5 characters. We actually got Piranha Plant too, so we've technically already had 5. But the fighters pass is coming to a conclusion sometime before February 2020. We don't know who we're going to get beyond now. We got Joker and Banjo-Kazooie and Terry Bogard, and who am I missing here? Hero from Dragon Quest. And we have this big blank 5, and they also recently announced that there's going to be more than this. There's going to be additional fighters. We don't know what that means either, so we're going to spend the next little bit of time, 4 of us, kind of talking about who might be coming in the 5th slot and who might be coming later, and how many characters, and what we think that's going to all look like.
Hell yeah.
So,
I love a good speculation episode.
How we're going to talk about this is, first we'll talk about some of the biggest names that have been rumored and leaked or speculated, and then we'll kind of go into what we think the 5th character is, and then go through some of the people that we think will make it, get the invitation to the Smash tournament, and maybe some who won't make it.
Ran out of air there, buddy.
And also, like you're kind of hinting at there, who we really would love to see, kind of maybe our left field or just our personal predictions as well. So cool. You just said, there's a bunch of people that have been talked about, and I kind of put them in order of what I think is likely, but we'll go through this list. And if you have anything to say about whether you think they're likely or whether you think they'd be cool, jump in. So the first one is from Ninja Gaiden, Ryu Hayabusa. Has been talked about very likely as
from Ninja
one of
Gaiden.
these characters. Yes. I think that would be pretty cool because it kind of has that old school but still relevant feel appeal to it. So I think that's very likely, actually, based on how much it's getting kicked around.
Yeah, that's been talked about for like a solid year now at this point.
Yeah, I do believe that. I don't know if you guys saw, but the probably like most reputable Smash leaker, Vergeben, I think that's how you say his name.
Vergeben, I think.
Vergeben. The Verge, he said that at least for Fighters Pass 5, he said that it wasn't going to be Ryu Hayabusa, Doom Guy, Gino, or
Crash,
Scorpion.
Right? Oh, okay.
I think he said Scorpion. He might have said Crash.
These are ones that he said were not going to be in the Fighters Pass.
Yeah,
okay,
and
gotcha.
but I don't think he's ever gotten anything wrong that he has said wasn't going to happen.
Right.
Like, he has said stuff about Minecraft content, which we've never seen, but anytime he's been like, no, this isn't a thing, he's been right, even about the Grinch leak. So.
Yeah, I think that I saw something about specifically Ryu and Crash. Maybe it was a different leaker that had somebody that, like Sabi or somebody, had somebody say, well, it's not that for the 5th, but
that's only for the 5th.
Right, exactly. It means doesn't mean it couldn't be the next characters.
Yeah, I think anything is on the table at this point, and that's why I think that any of these leaks, even if they're not the 5th Fighters Pass, could still be totally true.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it's like they're in active development now. All these characters, so.
And I think that's what's weird about like this additional fighters announcement is that if we didn't have that, we could sit here and be like, no, that's not going to be the 5th final DLC. You know what I mean? But now they could go out with a whimper. You know what I mean?
Although I doubt they would.
Yeah.
I doubt they would. I think for the people
think?
that they were talking about how many Fighters Passes they sold. I think for the people that have put $20 down, I think they're going to bring a big one for the
You still
last
think
one.
so?
I do think so, yeah.
I think so too.
Yeah.
Well, I'll keep going down this list.
Let's keep going.
Crash Bandicoot, which I still think would be great. Gino.
I would love Crash.
Yeah, Crash would be easy to program, or easy to create a moveset.
His moveset makes itself, you know?
Yeah.
And then we could just have that. I said it before, but the Sonic Mario Crash fight would be fun.
Yeah.
Gino from Mario RPG, which I think is coming just based on how fans serve. That's one of the last few major requested ones, and they've given us all the other ones, it feels like.
Yeah.
I'll just say right now, I've played Mario RPG. I love that game. It's a great game. I don't get why people want Gino so bad.
Yeah.
Like, it would be cool. Like, I'd be excited mostly for everybody else if he got in, but I'm like, he's a cool character, but I just don't get it.
Yeah.
I just think he's like really unique, which is why he's interesting to me. And it's like another Mario rep, which is fun.
It's kind of a weird. That's why I know people said it's not going to be the 5th one, but I could see him being the 5th one because
that is my pick for the 5th one.
Because he's kind of like a Nintendo character, but kind of not a third-party character, and kind of a majorly requested one.
I just think it would be weird for Square Enix to technically get 2 in one pass.
That's true. Yeah. I mean, although I feel like
there's no rules.
Well, I feel
there's
like
no rules. But
there's no real rules, but also like if you're going to look at it that way, I feel like Dragon Quest is Enix and Gino is Square.
That
you know
is
what
true.
I mean? So it's like
you're not wrong.
That's the way I justify it in my crazy head.
Going down the list a little bit further, Doomslayer or Doom Guy.
I could also see this being the 5th.
I think that would be cool. We don't have we don't have a first-person shooter rep in Smash, and I think
any shooter rep really.
Yeah. Maybe that's because
does Metal Gear count?
Nah, he's a sneak boy.
It's a stealth third-person game, but we don't have any first-person shooters, or like you said, third-person shooters really either.
Does Splatoon count?
Oh fuck!
That is a third-person.
Yeah, you're right.
That's a third-person shooter. Yeah.
Well, thank you for listening to Super Switch Headz.
Now the podcast is only hosted by Ryan.
We've got Dark Souls has been kicked around a lot. A couple different characters from that. Which seems possible.
Too ugly to be in Smash.
Too ugly?
Well, if you're the main character.
Is Ridley too ugly to be in Smash?
No, Ridley is a beautiful fucking specimen of a space pirate, and you shut your damn mouth.
Ridley is perfect.
Yeah. Get you a man who looks at you the way Ridley looks at potential prey.
Remember when Ridley got announced? How fucking hype that shit was?
Yeah.
That was insane.
Yeah.
I think this 5th character, whoever it is, will meet that.
That's why I think Gino is a possibility, because Gino, even though I don't give a shit.
Well, that was the last of the big fighter ballot ones.
Yeah.
Also, I don't know if you were going to bring it up, but you guys see the Me Fighter hat leak?
Yes.
with the Kin thumbs up.
Yeah.
Yes,
yeah,
we
yeah.
did.
You
We
know.
talked about it last week.
Oh,
Yeah.
No, that's fine, but we can talk about it now because it's relevant. I don't
Yeah.
think that that's been.
it
you
hasn't
know,
been disproven.
disproven,
it would be
right.
it would be really hard to fake.
Yeah, well, they say that it's hard to mod Mii fighters.
Yeah, it messes with the proportions.
Right,
supposedly.
right. So, and I guess that would lead some credence to Doom Guy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and Gino,
And Gino.
potentially, but
Yeah.
it could also just be me fighter costumes.
I know we're not through with this list yet, but I'm just going to say it before
That's
I
fine.
forget.
Go for it.
I think in the same way that like we got Piranha Plant before the Fighters Pass, I think they're going to throw in another one at the end.
Oh, really? Just
Yeah, and I think like that's
for
why
funsies?
Yeah, I can like totally see, and this is just me wanting this, but I could see it being Doom Guy, and then they throw in Gino at the end,
like
they
a free,
like a free
DLC?
Mario rep at the end. Like we got well, it wasn't free, but it's like well, I mean, it was free. Piranha Plant was free, but it was
Right.
like, but either way, it was like Mario rep, 5 characters, Mario rep.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That makes sense to me again in my strange. Head.
Okay, I can see that.
Yeah,
That makes sense.
Tales of games or another one that's been kicked around. I think there was some leak of like a Tales of symbol for Smash.
People
That got-
really want Lloyd.
yeah,
People
Lloyd in
really want
particular.
Lloyd.
I don't have it. I've never played a Tales of game. I don't care. I think like I said, anybody in Smash is great for me, but I do think that having that many like RPG reps in the Fighters Pass is tough for me. Like I feel like that they wouldn't do that, but I could totally see them doing it.
I'd
at
like
the
I could
same
totally
time.
see them doing
What
it.
were you gonna say?
I was going to say, if we're going to get another RPG representative, I would love to see a different franchise, such as like, I almost said Breath of the Wild, Fire, the one by Capcom. I can't
Breath
think
of
it.
Fire.
Breath of Fire.
Ooh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Breath
I
of the
started
Fire.
that on
Breath of the
this
Fire
Smash
was
Classic.
yeah. I was gonna say
Or Skies of Arcadia.
Skies of Arcadia rep would be amazing. I was gonna say if they're gonna add any Lloyd, they should just add Christopher Lloyd. But anyway,
Yeah, go for it.
That is my favorite Lloyd.
Another couple franchises that have been talked about. Resident Evil. So that one also seems possible to me.
I just watched Ryan roll your eyes.
I didn't roll my eyes. I gasped a little because
okay.
Leon Kennedy is my personal. I was going to say this in like our most wanted ones, but he's the one that my heart wants the most.
Okay, so you would prefer Leon to like Jill?
I'd like any of them,
Mm-hmm.
even if they did a thing where it was like they just put like Leon, Chris, Jill, and Claire.
I could
in
see them
and just
doing
like gave
that.
them all the same moveset and palette swap them. I think that would be cool.
Yeah, that would be cool.
I think they all look like tall, skinny people.
Yeah,
that
the
could
only
do
one
that.
who'd be weird is
Yeah.
Chris because he's buff as fuck.
Right.
But like Leon is pretty like thin, so
I think Leon and Jill could
Yeah.
be alts.
Well, and they all have pretty unique costumes too. So if you had like 3 of them in there, give each of them.
he
2
could have like
alts.
his cop costume and then
Yeah.
his Resident Evil 4 costume.
Then Jill could have the tube top and her like OG costume. Yeah.
Oh, I want it so bad.
Yeah, I mean, a Resident Evil rep would totally make sense. It's just like a lot of like if we're gonna break these down by like companies too, like I
Yes.
think there's a lot of Capcom
Yeah, I
reps
think
that are in this list, right? Or like people are talking about a lot of Capcom reps like this and like Monster
Capcom
Hunter.
and Namco, I think, are both very likely to get a character
Yeah.
because Namco has worked on Smash
Yeah.
Ultimate and their only character is Pac-Man so far.
Yeah, I guess. Well, unless you count. Well, wait, no, never mind.
I think that might be true.
Yeah, I think that
Yeah.
is it.
And I think that's why Tales of is possible.
Yeah, that's why Tales or
Gives that
Dark
some credence.
Souls.
Yeah,
Dark
okay.
Souls
That's what it was.
possibilities.
For a second, I was like, "But Persona is Namco," but no, it's Dark
No,
Souls.
yeah.
Yeah.
But like we said, you just kind of said Monster Hunter's next on this list. I hear a lot of people talk about that. I don't think that's very likely because there's not like a Monster Hunter character.
Maybe I could see like one of those cats being in. One of like the little cats from Monster Hunter.
What if it's just 3 cats on each other's shoulders?
That'd be fucking.
In a
tight.
trench coat.
I'd love cats because I think it'd be fun to do an Incineroar cat from Monster Hunter, Duck Hunt dog, and what's the other dog?
Isabel?
Yeah, Isabel. Yeah, it'd be
Yeah.
fun to have a
Cats versus dogs.
cats v dogs. Yeah.
So
yeah.
I don't think this
Even it out.
for the same reason. I don't think Monster Hunter is likely because there's not like iconic characters. It would be sort of generic characters.
Yeah, and they already have Rathalos as the boss in World of Light, and I think that's probably like the best way to
Yeah.
represent Monster Hunter.
Monster Hunter is more known for its monsters. Anyway.
I think that like for the same reason they aren't going to do this, but I never hear anybody say this. Why not like Elder Scrolls characters? Like that would be kind of interesting, and you could have your cat person that way. You could have your Khajiit or
it
whatever.
would be cool to have a character that you could do character customization for.
Right, like I was thinking, like the 8 alts for
Other
your
than Mii Fighters,
for
obviously.
your Skyrim or Elder Scrolls characters. Like you got like the cat person, the lizard
Yeah.
person, Argonian, the dark elf.
Yeah.
And, and they're all kind of the same size, so the
That'd be tight.
hitboxes don't change.
I think that'd be cool. That having been said, I think if any Bethesda rep is going to get in there, it's got to be Doom, because I mean, Doom is like one of the most famous video games of all time.
Well, and you look at all the characters in Smash, and even the ones that are kind of weird, like Duck Hunt, they represent a specific like character or
You're right.
characters.
Right.
There's not like a generic game character.
Well,
I don't think
Duck Hunt is.
But
Duck Hunt, the character is the game.
right? That's
Yeah,
the
yeah.
sort of only one that's kind of like.
Oh, that's
that.
what you were saying.
Like I'm saying, there's
Yeah,
no Monster Hunter type thing where there's just 8 different kind of.
Maybe your attacks could be
classes or
hunting the
something.
monsters.
Hero's probably the closest to that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because
But even those are sort of specific characters from specific Dragon Quest games.
Yeah.
Anyway,
My only thing about Doom is that Japan is so much more. They censor violence much more than
Right.
we do in the West. So I wonder.
No, I think that's-
how
Well,
popular Doom is.
You don't have to
over
put
there.
in the fucking finishing moves or
It's
whatever.
a-
Yeah, I
Fair
mean, they could
point.
definitely clean. I mean,
Yeah.
Bayonetta gets naked in her games, and they were able to make that
Yeah.
into a Smash acceptable thing. And Snake,
I was wondering the same thing. They can't kick this up to a higher rating, right? Because it's
Well,
sells.
he said it himself. He can't do
sells
that.
as whatever. But at the same time, like it sounded like from when he was talking about Mai or whatever, that he was saying sexuality gets censored more than violence in some ways there, which is true here at least. Anyway, so we'll see what happens. But no, continuing down the list, Cosmos from the Xenosaga games. Did you ever play Xenosaga games?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I did.
I actually
you,
think
you
if
look at
Cos-
me because I played Xenoblade.
but they're related. I mean,
You're a
not-
Xenoboy.
yeah, I'm a
You're a
That's the Xenoboy.
You're a monolith head. Yeah.
I'm a monolith.
that was
fucking head.
before. Well, anyway, I played Xenosaga 2, and I really like Cosmos. I would think it'd be awesome if Cosmos.
Yeah.
had
she
it.
is in Xenoblade Chronicles too, but it's like a
she is?
0.0001% chance you can get her. Yeah, there's like a gacha system for the blades,
right.
and you can get her, but it's like
didn't know
super
that.
super rare.
Yeah.
I think it'd be cool if she was in. That's like one character on this list I actually have some connection to. And I just feel like we need more female characters.
Was she in
Agreed.
Xenogears as well? Is that a game? Did I make that up?
Yeah,
No, I
it
don't
is a
think it's
game.
a-
I don't know. I don't know.
Cosmos is in Xenogears.
She is.
Yeah.
And Xenosaga.
I don't know about Xenogears. Is Xenogears even a related game?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it is.
it's
Yeah,
by
all
the
the
same
Xenos
guy.
are
Okay.
related.
I the only thing I really remember about that game is that it just had like hours and hours and hours of cutscenes. Yeah, I started playing that once and I got very bored.
And then a couple more on this list before we get on. We need to move through them, but I don't know anything about this game, but I see people talking about it. Reimu from Toho or the Toho Project.
Not gonna happen.
Don't know what that is.
Yeah, I had never heard of it until people started talking about it, and I looked up some gameplay of like the final bosses, and it's just like an absolutely insane bullet hell.
It's like a big game in Japan, I guess, or
Yeah.
at least has a bigger following there.
Not
Yeah,
gonna
who
happen.
gives a shit?
Arl from Puyo Puyo. I've never played a Puyo Puyo game, so I don't know anything about her.
Sounds up David's alley.
Well, because I like Tetris.
I saw you like puzzle games.
Well, one of my picks will be from Tetris. Don't worry. Spoiler. But this is more likely than whatever that last one was. But I also don't think this is going to happen. I think it'd be cool because she's not just from Puyo Puyo. She's from like the games that
she
like
isn't?
Puyo Puyo like comes from.
Okay.
It's like Puyo Puyo is a spin-off of like another RPG. I'm forgetting the name right now, but she's been like a famous character in Japan for a while. And I mean, Puyo Puyo's come up a lot recently, especially on the Switch. But yeah, I don't think this one's gonna happen.
And then the last thing, we also had some leaks about Frogger, and we talked about that last time.
Yeah, that was after because the guy who leaked that said that there was going to be like a Hollow Knight costume that came out with Terry. So since that didn't happen, I think that's
Seems
pretty much
unlikely.
unlikely.
And like out
Also
of all
Konami.
arcade classics that you could do, Frogger,
I mean, don't get me wrong. I think it would be hilarious. I would love to see it.
It'd be a Duck
But,
Hunt-esque
Yeah.
bullshit wacky reveal.
Frogger's had some other games, so I could see that being a reason. But
Yeah, I think
mean,
he did have some platformers on like the PS2 or something.
I mean, just then you're like Cubert and Dig Dug and Centipede and
I
like
would,
you know.
yeah, I want.
I was
Cubert.
going to bring up Dig Dug
Hubert,
when we were
yeah,
talking
yeah.
about Namco.
Yo, Dig Dug would.
Dig Dug would be okay. Cubert would be.
Well, they
better.
should just make a classic arcade fighter.
Fighter, yeah.
Yeah.
Does
like,
Dig Dug have a name? Like the character?
Doug.
Doug.
Dig Doug Bowser.
Yeah. Another character that is often rumored is Steve from Minecraft.
Yeah,
That's true. I didn't put him on
they
the
didn't
list.
make this list.
I
Yeah,
should have
yeah.
put Steve on the list.
Yeah.
Sorry.
You're forgiven.
call.
Yeah, that's very true. I just don't think it's going to happen because, at least in this Fighters Pass, because of Banjo.
But could maybe happen later.
I think if anything, I think they should just add a Minecraft stage. I think a Minecraft stage would be awesome.
They should just
That's true.
give him a Mii, excuse me, a Mii Sword Fighter skin.
Yeah, that would be
Yeah,
awesome
like
too.
Sans. I think that'd be perfect.
Yeah, that'd be great.
So now I'd like to go around and like maybe make your prediction, and maybe we've already done it because we went through a bunch of the likely ones for who you think the most likely. And I'm not talking about your personal wish, but who do you think is actually likely for this fifth?
Well, before we get into that, when do you
Sure.
guys? Because this is supposed to come out by
February 2020 is what they said.
When do you guys think they're going to announce it? Or
Yeah.
Game Awards.
You think I think that too.
Everybody thinks the Video Game Awards, which would be like December 12th, I think it is.
Be a nice bookend, right? That's what they
Yeah,
revealed.
right,
to
that's
us.
The
when
1
they-
year from Jokers.
Yeah.
Yeah. How many fighters do you think they're going to announce?
Oh yeah, so this is another question. So
I think they're going to announce Doom Guy and Gino.
they're gonna announce. Oh yeah, so sorry, we're talking about a couple things, but like, when will this fifth fighter get announced? If it's not at the Video Game Awards, then a January direct.
Yeah.
But or maybe just a little Smash thing on its own.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But it does seem likely the Video Game Awards. And then you're asking like beyond the fifth fighter,
Yeah. What's the Fighter Pass pack?
is there
2?
a second fighter pack, or is it going to be?
I think they'll
a
do
la
a second
carte?
one. I think if this one did so well, why wouldn't they do
You
another?
think they'll do
pack?
five more?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so. I think they'll make it another $20 and call it a day.
I think Nintendo likes money.
Yeah. Well, it's like if they're not going to go away from a season pass system, like if it clearly has made them so much money,
Right.
You know what I mean? And
I think reading that note in the Q&A makes it more likely in my mind that
Yeah.
there are going to be 5 and that it's
Totally.
going to be grouped together. That they did say that this could change, that there wouldn't be stages, it would just be the fighters. So I think, like you said, maybe $20 because I think this one was 25.
was it? I think it was 20.
It was 25.
It was 25.
Yeah.
No.
And so I could see them knocking it down by like $5.
So they said they're
Is
not
it
doing
really not
stages?
going to be stages?
That's what they said. It's just going to be the fighters. I know that could change. It could
Oh, they
still
might be,
still come with music. It could still come with other things.
Mm-hmm.
But like,
I think that opens up characters like Dixie Kong or Funky Kong or
Yeah.
characters from existing
That's
franchises.
on my list.
I think
Yeah.
it just means the pass could come faster too. That there could be
That's true.
There could be more than 5. Then there could be. You know what I mean? Like, who knows? But we'll see.
Either way, yeah. Let's get to some predictions.
Yeah. So let's talk about who we think is the most likely for the 5th character.
Well, I've kind of said my piece. I really think it's going to be the 1-2 punch of Doom Guy and Gino. That's
You think so?
That's my guess for the 5th. Those aren't necessarily the ones that I want the most.
Right. Yeah.
But if we're just
not-
doing that,
let's just do real quick who we think is most likely for the 5th.
what do you think?
My guess for the 5th is either Namco or Capcom. I can't really.
Well,
I
all
don't
right.
know.
I'm going to make you pick one character.
Lloyd.
Really,
I'd
Lloyd?
say Lloyd.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Mm.
Gotcha.
I'm going to say Gino. Gino is the last one that's on that survey.
Yeah.
So we got Banjo. If we got Banjo,
Yeah.
think
What was
it's-
it? Banjo, K. Rool, Ridley, like all those came to fruition.
all of them. Yeah. This is like the last one.
Y'all already said a couple of the ones I would strongly think, which is Lloyd or Gino. So I'll go ahead and say Resident Evil. I think that's another
Thank you.
high tier likely one.
Yeah. Do you think they do the palette swap?
I think
characters
so. I
thing?
think it would be probably just 2.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I think it would be Jill and Leon.
But
But
Leon would be perfect, honestly.
Yeah. I mean, and Resident Evil 4 is like essentially a Nintendo game.
Yeah.
And Resident
Even though
Evil
it's
4 is
been
so
released
good.
on pretty much every platform.
Yeah, including mobile. Yeah.
and do you think it's likely that we'll see, or I mean, what characters out of either that we've listed or not listed do you think are likely to be beyond the 5th character before we get into like who we really want personally?
I think realistically, I'm going to throw this out there, but I think it's going to be true. Waluigi.
You think so?
Yeah.
I think there's got to be a Nintendo character at some point, and I have that as a separate talking point if we want. But
I think Waluigi will come in a second pass. Yeah.
is there any other character, either listed or unlisted, y'all think is very likely as beyond the?
Well, I
Beyond,
think. Yeah.
probably like Byleth or Edelgard from
Oh, you
Fire
think so?
Emblem.
You think they're going to give us another Fire Emblem character?
Yeah,
Man.
I think so. I mean, but I love Fire Emblem Three Houses, so I'd be cool with
I do
it.
too, and so I would kind of like it, but I feel weird asking for it because there's
Or,
so
I
think
many
Edelgard would be
fucking
really
Fire
fun.
yeah, because she
Emblem.
has an axe, so it
Yeah.
would be different.
I hope that
Yeah.
if they do put another Fire Emblem character, it is not a sword character.
Yeah.
But even Byleth has the Sword of the Creator,
is
which
kind of a
has
whip.
it has like a whip into it.
yeah.
I also think the cops from Astral Chain could make an appearance.
That's true.
Yeah.
It's too new though. Maybe I don't
Yeah,
know.
well, if they- it
Fire
depends
Emblem
on
Three
when they-
Houses is new.
If they've decided recently that they were going to do more, and they've known that they were working on that IP for a while, it was,
I don't
We
know.
know
that,
they've been working on that IP for a while.
yeah,
apparently.
yeah. I don't know that Astral Chain sold enough, but maybe that doesn't matter.
I loved it. So
No, I loved it too. Yeah.
With Xenoblade, the HD remake coming out, I think we're gonna
Rex.
get a Xenoblade. We could get a Rex,
Yeah, Rex,
or a
Rex and
Pyra
Pyra.
and
Yeah.
Mira palette swap.
They got Rex with Pyra and Mithra. I think.
Would you prefer Rex and Pyro over Cosmos?
Yes.
No.
Yeah.
I think no as well. 50-50 split. Yeah.
Thank you. Well, because we're talking about Nintendo, let me just throw these out there. I think that we're going to get some random Nintendo character, likely, and maybe Birdo or like Kamek.
Birdo would be tight.
Because I think
Birdo would be cool.
Spitting the egg,
Yeah. Sucking things up through your big fat mouth.
or like I just feel like we're going to get some other random Mario type character, like either Kamek or
Dry Bones.
or something random like that.
I feel like we're definitely going to get like a female identifying Nintendo character.
That's why I think Birdo seems kind of likely. but-
Pauline.
Pauline,
Yeah,
is-
Pauline, yeah.
she'll just be captured by Donkey Kong. And
Yeah, she's just like,
Yeah,
she
she
fights with her
sings.
voice.
Yeah.
yeah.
Pauline has a hotel to run.
I think
The
Captain
Hotel from
Toad,
Luigi's
though.
Mansion.
Captain Toad could happen.
yeah.
Yeah. That is definitely. Honestly, it'd be great if the whole second Fighters Pass was just Nintendo
only.
characters.
Yeah.
This has been all third party characters, so I'd love to see a bunch
That would
of
be cool.
first party characters.
Okay, so we kind of talked about a lot of the random stuff, but we haven't talked about who we personally really, really want, or if we have any sort of out left field out there predictions or desires. Does anybody want to go first?
Yes, I want to go first.
Chomping at the
This
bit.
is the part of this show that I've been wanting to do this whole time. So not to say that I haven't been having fun. So I've had this weird, wacky theory for a while that, well, because I think it's fucking strange that Tails is not in this game, right?
Tales from Sonic?
Yeah. And I think that Tails would be a fantastic character. Tails can spin his shit around and fly around, and he'd be like kind of a Sonic alt, but he's too different to really be a Echo Fighter.
How would you want the flying mechanic to work? Because
It'd be like
Peach Flip?
Kirby or like
it'd be more like a
Jigglypuff or
glide
something.
down, but then you get extra jumps. You know what I mean? That's kind of how I see it. But then also in my head, I think it's weird that Dixie Kong is not in this game for similar reasons, because she can spin her hair and she can do the same kind of basic fly that Tails does. But I don't think that Dixie can be an Echo Fighter of Diddy, and I don't think that Tails can be an Echo Fighter of Sonic.
No,
so
they'd
I
have
think
a slightly different-
I think that Tails and Dixie should be Echo Fighters of each other. And this is never going to happen.
No, that's some weird
But
shit.
but I could see them playing really similarly. You know what I mean? And so either way, I want either two of those characters. I think Dixie would probably be my pick.
Dixie is long overdue.
Yeah,
in my
I think
opinion.
Dixie is long overdue. And you talk about female characters in a Smash game. It's perfect. I mean, it's like, we just got a rare rep, you know what I mean? So it's like, but is it really rare or is it Nintendo because of Donkey Kong? It's kind of hard to say. That having been said, Dixie has been pretty much my number one most wanted character for a really long time.
She's up there for
Yeah.
me
Well,
as
that
well.
also seems possible to me.
Yeah. I mean, I would also take Tails.
I would like either of those characters.
Yeah, I think Tails would be so fun to play as. Even back all the way to EGM, they did like a April Fool's thing where like Sonic was in the game, but it was like with Tails and you played as both. and I always wanted that ever since I saw that when I was a
Style
kid.
stuff.
Yeah, exactly. I'll go through some of these pretty quick, but
Yeah, go for it.
I think that Rayman is long overdue for this game. I think a lot of people are like, "Fuck Rayman! I don't want Rayman in this game." I think Rayman would be awesome. He can also do that fly spin thing, so maybe all three of them are Echo Fighters of each other. But
What Ubisoft representation do we have
Zero.
in Smash?
yeah, zero. Yeah. And Rayman has been
There's
around.
Rabid Spirits.
Now there's rabbits.
Yeah.
Okay,
you're
maybe
right.
in spirits,
Well, there's
but in
spirits,
terms of
but
yeah,
playable
in terms of-
characters,
Anyway, I think Rayman there was that fake leak a long time ago with Rayman, and ever since then I've wanted him in the game. So all of these are based on fake leaks I saw a long time ago. Well, I won't say one of these because I think one of you guys might say it. I'd love some indies, be that Isaac from Binding of Isaac, or
That'd be crazy if
Meat
you got
Boy, or Shantae.
Madeline from Celeste.
Yeah, Madeline's from Celeste. Any indie rep, I think, would be awesome. I think it would be like indies are now a part of the gaming lexicon, so I'd love at least one of those.
Well, they're getting closer. They had Shovel Knight as the assist trophy,
Yeah.
and then Sans as the costume.
Right.
So the next
Yeah.
step is
We're-
the fighter.
Exactly.
One fighter.
So I think
an indie fighter would be cool.
my personal pick would be Isaac from Binding of Isaac, just because he has so many moves you can take from, so many like things, and then his crying, like kind of bullet tears would be really fun to play as, I think. And then you could just do so much shit for his final smash. It's like, I would love Isaac. Last one I'll say, because I want to save some of these for you just in case, is Tetramino.
That would be so cool.
It would be so fucking cool. Tetris is like one of the OG games, you know what I mean? And it's like, at least as far as Nintendo is concerned, and it's
That would-
that would be another bullshit, crazy ass Duck Hunt style character.
That would
but
be
I
the
think
most
Tetramino would be so
abstract
good.
character in Smash
Yeah.
as of now, right?
Yeah.
So
I think so.
I think that's why I think it's less likely.
Probably.
And they already did that Tetris event.
They added spirits into it, but
it would be, it's so iconic. And
Mm-hmm.
I guess that's why there's not much puzzle game representation other than Dr. Mario, who's not like the pills. He's Dr. Mario.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know what I mean? Like,
you could be like a dude throwing Tetris blocks down a well, I guess. And then the last thing I'll say before we move on is I don't know why we don't have more Echo Fighters. They should just be adding Echo Fighters like fucking
Yeah,
candy.
if they were like
Like-
pay like maybe half the price of a fighter for an Echo Fighter.
I would get
in a
every single one of
heartbeat,
them.
Yeah.
I think I only listed two because they're the only ones I could think of at work. But like Shadow the Hedgehog and Guigi is a Luigi.
Luigi.
Yeah, yeah.
Guigi,
Like Luigi
yeah.
would be a sick Echo Fighter.
What
You
would
know I
happen
mean?
if in like Great Bay if he falls in the water?
Yeah.
Oh, you immediately die.
you just lose your stock
any character
immediately.
uses fire against you die.
you have like you take more damage, but then it regenerates, just like Luigi
nice.
and Luigi's Mansion. That could be kind of fun. Anyway, I'll pass it off to you guys. Those are
No,
my
but
picks.
something you said, I did want to kind of throw out there speculation broadly is like maybe they will have if they do more than just one additional pass, maybe that one of the things they could do is a Echo Fighters pass
Yeah.
that would be easier to do and give us another couple fighters that way or something.
I don't care as long as we get to 100 fighters at some point.
That's what I was just thinking.
We're so close. If that means throwing in Echo Fighters,
So
that's
I think
fine with me.
there will be 80 or something, 80 something once this one ends, and then you add, if
81.
there's another 5, there'd be mid 80s. It depends on how you count it. If you count the Mii Fighters and all that
Yeah.
kind of stuff, but
You can do Echo Fighters.
We'll be in the mid 80s. So
Yeah.
It's doable.
oh man,
Get my boy Luigi. Well, what's his name? Guigi.
Luigi.
Get him in there.
What about EGAD?
I'll pass on you guys personally.
Silence.
Who wants to go next?
I'll go next. The first thing that came to mind, I actually thought Birdo would be like perfect.
Birdo would be really fun.
It's an echo of Yoshi.
Mm-hmm.
Be really simple to like you shoot eggs out of your giant mouth. Is that a fucking mouth? What is?
It's like a nose mouth orifice combination.
Yeah,
it's like a cloaca for your face.
I think Birdo would be cool. I would love to see more Capcom representation like from Final Fight.
yeah, beat 'em up.
Yeah,
I
any
don't
kind
know.
of.
Do we
Yeah.
have any fighters from beat 'em up games?
Yeah, I don't think so.
I don't think so.
An urban champion rep.
Yeah, like Double Dragon or something.
Yeah,
That'd be
yeah.
Yeah, is it Urban Champion Sega?
No, I think that's Nintendo. But it's like their beat 'em up that they made for the
Okay.
NES.
Oh, you're right. You're right.
Yeah, it was like a old black box one, I think.
Yeah.
I'm thinking like if we're talking about representation in video games, I said Final Fight because like Poison is a trans identifying character. She was a villain originally in the original Final Fight, but she represents as trans, and people cosplay as Poison all the time. It's
Birdo
like-
too. Not,
Yeah,
not like it's not canon, but people say
Is Birdo they them?
Birdo is a transgender character in
Yeah.
in the fan culture at least.
I believe it actually at least was canon, like in the instruction manual.
Birdo was listed as a he at one point and then a she at another point. So that's
Oh.
where
Yeah.
I
Some
think
of
in
the
the
translation
instruction
stuff.
manual and like in Super Mario Bros. 2, it literally said something like Birdo is a man but prefers to go by she or something like that.
I would also love to see Mike Hagar from Final Fight.
Okay.
He's like the big dude. He's also Hagar is like my favorite arcade character
Yeah.
because all he does
He's the big guy that spins around.
yeah. My friend John Shank from Alaska, he'll call me, he'll be like, "Yerk," which is the sound that Hagar makes. So when we greet each other, I think of Hagar. I would love to see Mike Hagar, and he's also a fucking mayor. He's a politician.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't remember that backstory. That's great.
Yeah.
Dude, Pauline and Hagar.
Echo Fighters.
Dual mayor Echo Fighters.
That would be great. I mean, obvious are any kind of chrono representation.
That's what I didn't say because I thought you might say.
Yeah,
it.
of course.
Yeah.
Any character you specifically would want, or Chrono?
Yeah, Chrono, Magus.
Yeah.
Magus.
Magus
Yeah.
would be cool. The frog dude. What's his name?
Oh yeah, the frog
Yeah.
dude.
I think it's just Frog, right?
Yeah, Frog. Glenn is his human name.
Yeah. I prefer him to Frogger.
Frog.
If we're gonna get a frog.
We already have a frog.
Man, I like.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Yeah. We have a ninja frog.
I like all those characters. Yeah, I could see any of them. Yeah.
Yeah.
that's cool.
Yeah. Chrono would be great. Yeah. Any Chrono representation.
That'd be cool.
Give us Surge from Chrono Cross.
Dude, if we got a Chrono Cross,
That's never, ever going to happen.
I'll take Surge or what's her name? The with the little dagger blade.
Yeah, I don't remember her name.
I can't think of it.
She's
Maybe it'll
dead,
come
though.
to me.
Yeah,
Anyways,
yeah.
who's next?
Is that the cave woman? Is that what you're talking about? Or wait?
No, we're talking about Chrono Cross.
Oh,
now.
you jumped.
We're talking about the Chrono game that nobody likes, except for me and Matt.
Yeah, we said Surge, and like, no one knows who Surge is.
I will go next because it feels like we're going in a circle.
Yeah.
Like I said this before. There's nobody that like. Oh man, I gotta have this person in Smash. I would be excited about anybody to just love. Like you said, I want there to be 100 characters in this game. So I tried to think about what games aren't represented that are characters that I kind of matter to me. And we talked about this last time, but the more I thought about it, I was like, yeah, Lara Croft.
Yeah. I also left that off my list because I thought you might say that.
Because I really love the new Tomb Raider games, and
Yeah.
and they came out about 5 years ago, and I think those are games that really reconnected me with gaming about 5 years ago. I wasn't I was right around when my son was born. I played the first two of those, and I have the third one. I haven't played it yet, but and she could have a really awesome moveset from the new games, especially with her melee attacks with the like ice pick she has. She's got a bow that she uses regularly, guns like. That would easily translate.
I mean, you're talking about female characters.
Yes.
She's like the female
character.
video
Yeah,
game
and
for
character.
sure.
And the rewritten Lara Croft that's not overly sexily done would be great. Like I really love the new Lara
Like they
Croft.
can throw in like a costume alt like that is like
More
going
retro.
back to the OG, but it's like I feel like Lara Croft has gone through a renaissance or like a resurgence
Yes.
as like a serious female character as
Right.
opposed to like a sex symbol.
Exactly.
And so I think it would be a perfect pick.
Yes, and I think that would be great. So
Yeah,
that's
that makes
on there
sense
for me.
because that's it's Square.
It is Square Enix, so I don't think it's likely.
Yeah.
Maybe not as 5, but it could happen.
Yeah, not as 5. That is
Yeah.
to say.
I don't think it's going to happen this turn.
I don't know.
but I'd
I
love
just
to see
don't.
it happen.
Square seems real stingy with Smash.
Yeah. Also, she's just like a Western character, and Western characters have way less likely chance
That's
of getting
true.
in, I think.
True.
Yeah.
But maybe I don't know.
Yeah, I hope so.
It seems less likely. That's why I put it on my want, not on the likely doc. I already said the Elder Scrolls thing, but I was thinking about that as a possibility. I feel like or Diablo or Warcraft, like similar thing. I don't think it's the same reason I argued that it's not going to happen because there's no iconic character, but those games are major games that aren't in this.
I guess we could just get like a Dragonborn from Skyrim.
Yeah.
It just says Fos Rada over and over again.
I think a Mortal Kombat rep would be cool because Mortal Kombat's another game that like I played a shit ton of growing up. And
Who would you want from Mortal Kombat?
I would be cool with anybody, but who do I
you
think is
imagine-
likely? Scorpion or Sub-Zero?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Can you imagine Scorpion with his get over here and Smash? How annoying that would be.
Yeah. That's why I think maybe
So good.
Sub-Zero would, because I also feel like Scorpion's, I mean, all of them are so brutal. I don't know I don't think it's very likely. And they
I
would have
could
to
just
be
see the
toned
reveal
down.
trailer now. Scorpion gets over here.
If we're gonna get a Mortal Kombat rep, I would love to see my boy from the Lin Kuei, Sub-Zero.
Yeah.
I think
That would be really
Sub-Zero
awesome.
would be the most iconic and not as brutal, you know, because he could just freeze you.
They already
Yeah, and then
have
you could-
built-in freeze effects to the
Exactly.
game. And
Exactly.
everything,
Then we could get a Sub-Zero Ice Climbers fight. which is what everyone's always
A
wanted.
Lucas Sub-Zero.
Yeah, exactly. There you go, Lucas too.
It's a little bit of a tangent. Have you seen some of the DLC characters for Mortal Kombat? They're
Are you saying you
fucking-
want Arnold Schwarzenegger in
Yeah,
Smash?
they're like bonkers.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're insane.
They're like the rumored to be next one is like Ash from Evil Dead.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
That would
yeah,
be cool.
I think it's been like soft
That makes
confirmed
sense.
too. Like they've been putting chainsaw sounds and stuff in the
Yeah,
other
yeah,
trailers.
yeah. Maybe it's Doom Guy.
Yeah. True.
And then speaking of that, I think the other thing that I just feel like is missing from the game and would love to see is a first person shooter rep, whether it's Doomslayer or Master Chief. Even
Yeah.
I think Master Chief would be really cool
Be incredible.
because that's more of an iconic character than Doomslayer is in some ways. Of like, you know, you see cutscenes more, or I don't know, the newer games maybe, but like Master Chief's more well known in some ways than Doomslayer as a character.
Visually,
Yeah.
Yeah.
As a third person view, you know what I mean? Like,
Right. Although I think it'd be cool for Doom Guy to just have him making his weird faces the whole time.
So that's my list. There you go.
Did we take all of yours, Ryan? Or do you have-
Surprisingly, no. I mean,
Awesome.
I was gonna say Scorpion, but that's the only one. And we already talked about Resident Evil, so
Yeah.
that's my most wanted one. But I'll just move on. My most wanted first party is Paper Mario. By
Oh,
far.
hell yeah.
We have 3 Links in the game. Why not 3 Marios?
Yeah,
but his
true.
moveset would be completely unique.
Totally
you know,
different.
the hammer. They could possibly like add the partners, like have a partner swap mechanic or something.
If they did like
I-
timing based attacks where like you hit you start
yeah,
your attack and
yeah.
then you hit it again as you're hitting them. That could be really
The more you
cool.
say this, I'm kind of surprised it's not already in Smash.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've wanted it for a while.
This could be an Echo Fighter of Game & Watch.
I've seen that brought up. I mean, I would prefer him to be original, but I'd take what I could get.
Yeah.
Yeah, Paper Mario. If they announced him and then a new Paper Mario game that was like in the style of the first 2 games, I think I would
that's-
just have a heart attack right
That's
then.
a fair point. You know, I think I'm sorry to interject on your
No, go for
your speculation part, but like, if we are obviously we're getting more fighters beyond this, and if there are first party game characters, they could totally tie that in with a game reveal.
Yeah, cross
and the way
promotion.
that they announce it.
Arlo would be very happy.
Yeah, remaster 1,000-Year Door. Also, I think we are long overdue for another Zelda representative.
Okay. Who would you pick?
Yeah, I couldn't think of anybody.
So hear me out. Beast Ganon, like the Ganon boss form from like Link to the Past,
Okay.
with his trident, I think would be really cool. I know it's like another version of a character, which is
Right,
like all
right.
Zelda is, but he would be pretty different.
Yeah. He'd play really cool, I think.
Yeah, I think he have the potential to be like a really scary heavy.
Yeah.
Like other than Bowser, most of the heavies aren't that good in Ultimate, but
They just
With-
buffed them all.
yeah, true,
Yeah, they
very
did
true.
buff them all.
Yeah, King K. Rool is kind of scary now.
Definitely thought you were going to say Tingle.
Well, yeah.
Tingle would be interesting. One of the champions from Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, that could be really cool.
Impa could maybe just be a Sheik Echo, but
Yeah, Impa would be a great Sheik Echo.
Yeah.
That's really smart.
Yeah, I was trying to think of like games
Toy
that
Link from Link's Awakening.
that I love, and Zelda was one of them. I was like, I don't know what character they would bring from the Zelda
Yeah,
games.
because a lot of the characters,
they're kind of
they
one-off.
have little one-offs. Like there's not a lot other than maybe Impa or Tingle that have, been in a lot of different ones. But then Impa is sometimes just an old lady.
Yeah.
You know?
Right. But she is in like every Zelda game,
Yeah.
essentially.
Yeah, she was in the first one.
Yeah.
Another character, Capcom character I think would be cool would be Amaterasu from Okami.
Yes.
Ami.
More dogs.
Which is
Bring
a
them in.
game I haven't finished, but I still just think she would be. Also, she is a female character. I think
I did not know
She'd be really
that was a
great.
female dog.
it is a bitch. For
Yeah. Great.
and-
Now we can't monetize this video.
I'm so sorry.
cursed. Fuck.
I don't think it's like the most necessary, but if we got another Final Fantasy rep, I would love to see Vivi from Final Fantasy IX. I
Yes.
just love that character. he breaks my heart.
I was
when
gonna
I
put
played
a
that
Final
game.
Fantasy IX character in, but I was like, oh, it's too, it's
Honestly,
too
any of
selfish.
Tidus or Dagger, any of them would be really cool.
Yeah, Vivi. I
Final-
think Vivi would be great because it's like we've been seeing like black mage or mages.
Yeah,
like
people
that
are like,
forever.
add Black Mage. I'm like, but just add Vivi.
Yeah, yeah,
it's the
yeah,
same thing, but it's more of a developed character.
Another magic using character would be cool.
Yeah,
He'd be like Robin, but better, hopefully.
it's shorter.
Yeah, shorter, better Robin. And my last sleeper pick is Norman Reedus and his funky fetus,
My God.
aka
Reedus
Sam
and
Porter
the fetus.
Bridges.
Dude, man, Death
I mean,
Stranding and Smash. Kojima.
you know they're buds.
Yeah.
Oh
That'd be
my
incredible.
god. That would break the internet.
Yeah, it would be the
Yeah.
first like actual like human actor to get into a video game.
Oh wow, yeah.
I guess you're right. Yeah, yeah.
I've also seen people requesting Tony Hawk, which I think would be great.
I was trying to think about that.
That'd
You know,
be so good.
one other genre of games that's not in it at all is sports
games.
Yeah.
But I mean, I guess we fit, but that's not really. That's more like casual
Or Mario.
exercise.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was like, man, what you can't put a sports character in this. Is
I mean,
there
you could just- I
is
think
there
it would
a
be-
generic?
It would be
sports
John
character?
Madden.
Backyard football.
Just like fat John Madden. And he just like calls the game.
Bo Jackson.
Tecmo Bowl.
Ken Griffey.
Yeah. No, I think that I now really want Norman Reedus in this game.
Wouldn't that? It would be so fun.
It would be so funny.
Be so
Especially if
good.
it just never came out on the Switch. Death Stranding is a
I mean,
can.
it's impossible.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
impossible.
Damn. Well, out of all of those, which is most likely
Norman Reedus.
Reedus
the
for
top
sure.
one.
Like not even as Sam Bridges, they just add in Norman Reedus.
Norman.
Yeah. Norman Reedus from The Walking Dead is in this game.
Well, I think that pretty much covers it. We've gone long enough. I had
Yeah.
some. Yeah. So awesome.
That was a good talk.
Any final thoughts on that before we move on?
I just hope that we keep getting fighters. I think the Switch, they've just said in their investor meeting, they're going to keep selling Switches as long as they possibly can. I don't think we're getting another Smash
On the Switch,
until
for sure.
whatever the next non-Switch system is.
And they're going to have to mix it up big
Yeah.
time to make it stand out from
So
this.
I think this is an evergreen games as a service game now at this point. And I think that they should just keep updating this game as its own platform. So I just hope that I hope we get like 15 more characters. I mean, I don't think it's going to happen.
Right.
But
That would be awesome.
that would be awesome. And
Yeah.
I think this game, they're just going to keep fine tuning it forever.
If we're looking at other fighting games that have done really well, like Killer Instinct had, I think they're up to like, they ended at season 3 and they had like 3 or 4 characters every season. And so if other fighting games have had multiple seasons,
What's
like,
Tekken 7 at now? Hasn't it been doing DLC for a while?
oh yeah, they're at 3, I think.
Yeah.
And they have like Negan from The Walking
Yeah,
Dead.
there you go.
They have Noctis. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think it's very possible that we get a lot more fighters. And Nintendo, if you're listening, just add every single person we just talked about.
And they are listening.
We know they are. Yeah.
Premiere.
Yeah.
Sorry, I
They premiered
I
Nintendo
forgot it at
podcast.
the top, but we'll say it here. Premiere Nintendo podcast.
All right. Well, that's a good talk. I guess let's move on to the next segment.
Yeah, what we've been playing. I'll go first because I don't have a whole lot to say. I've mostly been playing stuff I talked about. Luigi's Mansion more, Golf Story more. Played a lot of Smash Ultimate with some Switch Headz when Terry came out. We had a arena going for a little bit. And uploading more Mario Maker courses, but nothing exciting out of all that to share. So take it away, somebody who has something more interesting to say.
Yeah, I'll go next. I have been playing the Norman Reedus simulator.
So you've been playing Death Stranding?
Yeah, I've been playing Death Stranding,
Hell yeah.
and it's great.
So you are on the like it side.
I am on the like it side.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was talking to a coworker today about it, and he was saying how he really likes cargo simulators. Any like
Cargo simulators?
Yeah, any
Like truck driving simulator or
yeah,
whatever?
any game that you have to take something from point A to
Fetch
point B.
quest.
Well, sounds like he found his game.
Yeah,
Yeah, right.
It's great. There's so much polish, and the sound design is good, and there are like moments that were really great in Red Dead Redemption 2 that I feel like Kojima was inspired by, or other games that you'd be like, you're in this vast landscape, you're alone, and then they play like this like hip hop or lo-fi or country song that like really enter you into this huge new world or new city. And you ride a fucking motorcycle as Norman Reedus. And you gotta
You drink Monster Energy drinks.
It's so ridiculous.
Yeah.
The reason that I love Kojima is that it feels like it's very like how I identify. It's like all the silly things. Like, what if we put a fucking Monster Energy branded drink in
I
it?
think it's hilarious.
Yeah, it's they don't hint at it could be Monster Energy, but they say like Monster Energy.
Yeah.
And
Like a highly detailed render of a Monster Energy can.
yeah.
Yeah.
And also the enemies, the BTs, you use your poop and pee.
Yeah, you make like poo bombs,
yeah,
right? And like
yeah.
pea grenades and shit?
Yeah, and like
And blood grenades too.
and blood grenades and like water from taking a shower.
Yeah.
It's so ridiculous,
That's lit, dude.
but it's I don't know, it's super satisfying.
Yeah.
It's like a very polished walking simulator.
Yeah. I think I'm like just before the point where everyone says it gets a lot more fun.
Yeah, are you on like Act 2?
I'm about to get on the boat.
Okay.
I don't want to say anything
Yeah,
more for
I'm
those
not
who
even that
haven't.
far yet.
Okay. Yeah, it's like I like it, but I'm like waiting for there to be a little bit more. But yeah, it is fun.
Have you been playing anything else this week?
Yeah, I just finished Luigi's Mansion 3, which is great, and after that, I'm back on the Fire Emblem grind.
Okay.
Resumed my Golden Deer playthrough, which is my second one.
Nice.
I had to put it away for a while because like after July when it came out, it was just like so many big games were coming out. So
It's
haven't
been
really
a crazy year for games.
Going back to Luigi's Mansion, did you have a favorite floor?
The movie set floor, I think. I really enjoyed figuring out that puzzle because like I turned off all the EGAD hints, so I don't know how obvious it was if you had them on, but I was so confused.
I don't
at
feel like
first.
the EGAD hints are all that helpful. I feel like usually I've already figured out what he's saying, and I'm like, I just need the timing or the detail.
And he says it just over and over and over.
Yeah.
But,
So I was just like, shut up, just leave me alone.
on that point, I'm on the sand floor, which is very satisfying.
Yeah,
The sand floor is fun.
Yeah.
I like the garden one too.
Yeah.
Garden is cool.
Man, I'm still not that far. I'm on the medieval floor right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Jumping back to Fire Emblem, though, are any of the free DLC updates affecting your playthrough at all, or do you have the paid DLC?
I do not have the paid DLC. I've wanted to purchase it, but
I'm kind of holding
I
off to see what
yeah.
the story stuff
Same,
is.
because
But
I don't think
but
they've added too much
you can-
except for
you
the
can take
ability.
saunas.
Yeah,
Can't you pet dogs?
I was about to say the thing that makes you want to get is you can pet the dogs and
Yeah,
cats.
yeah.
now.
And you can take a sauna.
That is so fucked up that they put petting dogs behind a paywall.
I know,
Can we say
right?
that?
That should have
I think
been
we
the
can
free
say that.
update. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? We can fucking say that,
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah, but the only real thing I've noticed is that you can go to battle in your like church outfits now. So I like
Gotcha.
I took Hilda out of her like weird furry warrior outfit and put her back in her
That's fine.
in her normal school clothes.
Nice.
I'll go next because I'm the last one. I want to start by saying I have not played any more Ring Fit Adventure. I've just decided to be a fat boy.
Oh, no.
No, I'll play more. I just haven't found a
okay.
good time,
Gotcha.
and it's like it's just been really busy.
I'm going to follow up with you in 48 hours.
Yeah. Well, it's like every time I have been playing a game in the past week, it's because I've been like winding down at the end of a long day or something. So it's like the last thing I want to do is like work up a fucking sweat. And then I played the Pokemon event for Tetris 99. Got that theme.
Good job. You still have them all?
You're
on top of it?
Of course. I'm not ever going to miss a fucking theme for Tetris 99. It's my game.
So you
okay?
go out of town.
The game was
you're
made for me. Until I go out of town. No, I will find Wi-Fi. It doesn't take me that long to
There will
unlock
be
the
Wi-Fi
themes.
wherever I go.
Yeah, I'll buy some pocket Wi-Fi. And then one thing that I told myself I wasn't going to play, but am just a masochist and just am doing it, and it's making me so mad, is I've been playing Super Monkey Ball Banana Blitz.
Oh, David, last time we were here, you said better that we don't ever talk about it.
Yeah, well, you know what? Fuck it. Because I've been playing, my friend Jeremy got the game, and he lent it to me, and so I've been playing his copy of the game. And, oh man. I kind of want to make like a long post online about it. I know we don't really have time to talk about it right now, but just like about all the things that disappoint me about this game. Cause it like is so close to being a good game. You know what I mean?
That's the most frustrating part, right? If
Yeah.
it's just terrible, you could just write it off.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like a great concept and it's a great formula, and like Monkey Ball Deluxe would have been the perfect thing to port. But it's like, I have been getting more mad playing this game than any game in recent history. Like, you can ask Sasha. Like I've been like I have been coming up with very creative swears like in playing this game.
Just because it's bad?
Well, like,
Hard,
because
wonky
it's
controls,
unfair.
right?
Well,
Yeah.
the controls are like mostly fine. They added jumping into this game, which has no place in a monkey ball game. The jumping is inaccurate. Sometimes when you press A, you just don't jump. Like sometimes it just won't jump when you press the jump button.
I'm glad we're not the premier Sega podcast in all of the internet.
And then also there are boss battles in this game, which also just has no place in a monkey ball game. Like there's no reason to have boss battles in this game. And the bosses are so frustrating. Like that's what frustrates me about this game, really. And I've just lost, you get lives so easily as you're playing because it's not hard until you get to the later worlds, but every boss is really hard because you have to jump to kill all of them. And the jumping is so imprecise. And then there's also like a huge amount of RNG in all of the bosses. And it's like, there'll be bosses that like they'll just fire like 10 rockets at you at once. And there's just no way to avoid them. So it's like, and you have to jump on them to hit them back, but he's firing 10 at you. So like you just get knocked out of the stage so easily and it's so unfair. It's been really pissing me off, but you know what? I'm going to finish it. Basically, whatever. We'll see what happens. I'm playing this game, in hopes that, they'll make more monkey ball
Playing your
ports.
friend's copy of this game.
Yeah, that's how I'm showing my support.
Supporting them.
I'm like half supporting it. I'm talking about it, aren't I? Okay.
You're really convincing everyone to
Can
go
you
out
say
and
the
buy
name of the game one more time?
Monkey Ball Banana Blitz HD. But really, Sega, if you're listening to this, and we know you listen too, just port Monkey Ball Deluxe. It's not that hard. It was out on the Xbox 360. It's easy to do. Anyway, I think that's the show. Sorry to end on a sour note.
Okay. Well, that's it, right? Hey,
done.
thanks everybody for listening. Thanks, Corduroy, for doing our music. We got to 40. We're 40 episodes old.
Hell yeah.
We did it. Yeah, check us out online. If you want to find us individually, I am PDYX.
I'm on Twitter, Matthew, MATHYOU.
Everywhere on the internet, I am at Monolith Fiji. What about you, Ryan?
I have no plugs.
Hell yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Speaking of plugs, if you're still listening to us, come out to our show tonight at Fallout Theater. Me, Matt, and Patrick are going to be doing some improv on the show Good Fight as Single Pringle. It's at 9:30 at Fallout Theater.
Single Pringle.
And if you're not in Austin, tough titty toenails.
Sorry.
You can't make the show. But other than that, if you want to find Super Switch Headz online, we're on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Join our Facebook group. It's just Switch Headz. It's a blast. We're getting up to almost like 250 members or something like that. It's a pretty robust community. We've got a lot of people posting all the time. It's a really nice time. Join our Discord. Other than that, make sure you tune in next week. We're going to be breaking down our impressions of Pokemon Sword and Shield. I don't know about you guys, but I'm getting real excited for this game.
You were saying you were holding off because of reviews, but now you're not.
Yeah, I've decided I'm just going to get it. I'm excited. The hype is too strong at this point. I'm just going to get it. Fuck it. I'm probably going to hate it as much as I hate Banana Blitz. But yeah, I got, getting a copy for me, a copy for Sasha. We're going to be playing, trading. It's going to be a fun time. And then returning to the show will be Robert Trailer to talk about some of that Pokemon goodness. So thank you everybody for listening. We love you very much. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.